John, how are you?
I'm good, and you've met Doggie. This is Zack.
Oh, yeah, Zack is cool.
He's a good dog. Actually, I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of things that you need to train out of him. But I mean, let's talk training right off the top. But just any dog, and we'll get to Zack in a second.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily subscribe to all the conventional methods.
No, because most of the conventional methods are all about bribing a dog. And when we take a look at the health situation on dogs, there's now a new study out about the obesity problems because people are constantly feeding dogs treats.
Yeah, we did that.
Right?
We got a fat little dog. I started calling him Brisket.
Yeah.
And then we put him on a diet.
Okay, so if people could avoid doing the diet thing with a dog, wouldn't that be better? And the other issue with treats is people end up spending hundreds, thousands of dollars over the time of a dog's life. And that money, somebody could go to Cuba or Cancun or something like that, and that would be a lot better.
Okay, so
right.
How do I train a dog without treats? Because you're not going to say I should scold him, are you?
Well, when you're teaching, if I'm teaching you and you make a mistake, should you get in trouble?
No.
No, because you don't know exactly. So, for instance, Zack, right? I'm not going to tell him to sit. Watch what I do.
Okay. Pulling up on the collar.
I'm pulling up on a collar.
Yeah. And he goes down.
He finally sits.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he doesn't like having his neck pulled up, so it's better if he sits down and then he's comfortable. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Now with Zack, because he's such a cute little buddy, and he's pulling to my right.
Yeah.
If I snap my fingers.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
He's being a terrier. He's ignoring you. Pulling the collar. Legs go up in the air. Zack says, "What the hell's going on?" And he sits down.
So now that takes a little bit of time, right? But some people, I'm going to use a dog treat because now the dog will sit right away. But once that treat is removed, the dogs don't necessarily sit right away. And if the dog is starting to sit to the snap and you're carrying things and you don't have to dig into your pocket and you just snap your fingers, voila, you have a dog that sits.
Now, without casting any aspersions at all, because it's a fine show that you have, the guy everybody pays attention to in the States is Cesar Millan.
Yes.
And he's big on this whole, I'm the alpha dog and I'm leading a pack. And do you buy into that stuff?
Well, you definitely need to be the alpha. The dogs need to know that there are rules. They live in a pack mentality. You put dogs in a situation with a bunch of buddies and they will find who's the alpha. So that is important. But
so I'm playing alpha male to a terrier.
Totally.
15-pound dog.
Yeah,
Super.
But you're also paying the bills.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, but we haven't had that discussion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got to get them into show business. Now, I have an expectation for your dog just to sit instead of pulling the leash. Because when dogs end up pulling the leash on a lot of people, they end up wearing down the deltoids in the shoulders. And then someone goes for surgery. Not a good thing. So now Zack has been sitting here for, a couple minutes?
Yeah.
So this is patience training. But I'm not going to be fishing and yanking on the leash and the collar like this because that's going to annoy Zack, and Zack probably moved.
He did.
Good job, Zack.
Yeah.
I like Zack.
Of course, you got to see what happens when we say the S word. Zack, squirrel. May sound a little different because we're now standing, because we're big believers in doing visual things on the radio, like trying to train the cutest dog in the world, my dog Zack. My guest is Brad Pattison. The new book is called Brad Pattison Unleashed, A Dog's Eye View of Life with Humans. And, of course, he's also the host of the show At the End of My Leash. You were just chastising me off the air because I showed you that I actually had a bag of treats.
Yeah,
Dad?
You have a bag of treats. Why?
Because that's how I got Zack to stay in the room today. Every time I left, I'd give him a treat. And, yeah, I know. You're shaking your head here.
Okay, so if you were to have the leash around your waist on umbilical, so if the leash was like this around your waist, then wouldn't it be better for your dog? Then you don't have to be stressing and worrying about where Zack is going to go because Zack would just go with you.
Is that what you do? You tie it around your waist?
Totally. And so here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you step into this leash, the magic circle I call it.
You know, I've been beaten up by female kickboxers, but I've never been tied up with a leash by a guy on the show. So here we go.
Well, every day's special here, isn't it?
All right. So now I got Zack around my waist. I'm not going to trip over him?
Well, if you trip over him, he's going to learn to move for you. Because most people, they walk around their dog. And when that happens, now that actually gives power to the dog. And one crazy thing that's going on in our society and also in the United States is people are tripping over their dogs, breaking their shoulders, their hips, their knees, their elbows because the dog doesn't move for them. And you are paying the bills. The dog isn't.
So you're telling me on a regular basis, every day when I take this guy out for a walk, I should be wrapping a leash around my waist and just walking as if he wasn't there?
Totally, all the time. And then when you feel that, okay, he's been really good, there's no tension on the leash, maybe you want to drop the leash and then start stepping on it so Zack understands he can be semi-off leash but not completely off leash. And that's how we start to teach Zack, okay, you can have some off-leash privileges. But if you take off and you go too far away and I call you once and you don't come, then I will go get you and you are back on leash and you are now in jail.
Okay, now what about the fact that Zack is, as we call him, a terrierist? Terriers don't exactly take instruction. They're a bit like cats. Can I actually expect him ever to come?
Okay. Now that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Because you're saying that this dog, your cool, super cool Zack, is going to be like all the other terriers. And really, if you look at Zack's personality, he's tenacious. He's a go-getter. He wants to get the squirrels. Hold on, Zack has something to say. I want to get the squirrels. Very good, Zack. Very good. So, Zack, I know, but he's telling us he wants to get the squirrels, but he has to understand that there are rules. You can go get the squirrels. You can say, go get the squirrels, Zack. And then Zack goes and looks for the squirrels. And then you say, Zack, you come back here to Dad. And then Zack says, no, Dad, I'm getting the squirrels. Then that is a reason why you put him back on leash, because he loses that privilege because he ignored your request.
Okay, because normally the only thing I ever see when I'm off leash in a closed area is the backside of my dog running the other direction. And we call it disco ball in the head. He is not thinking anymore. He sees a squirrel. There's nothing you could do. I could hold up a slab of raw beef and he wouldn't come back.
Okay, exactly. And that's because the dog finds the squirrels far more entertaining and everything else far more entertaining than you. So that means you got to get fun.
A lot of people do.
So you got to become the fun guy with Zack. I'm going to send you out, and I want you to walk around your coworkers out on the outside of that door and see if Zack pulls you, gets in front of your feet, find out how many times Zack challenges you, and find out how many times the leash goes tight. Go.
Okay, well, this is something we're going to have to do off the air because I got to make way for news.
Okay, sorry.
But listen, it's been wonderful having you here, and people can see more of you on television, obviously, and your new book.
Perfect. Well, it's a great book. If people are having problems with training their dog or an older dog, younger dog, it doesn't matter. The book has great information in there, so it's good for everyone.
So you can teach an old dog a new trick. Thank you so much. Good to meet you.
All right.
Brad Pattison. The name of the book is Brad Pattison Unleashed, A Dog's Eye View of Life with Humans.